Hello everyone, welcome back to our fourth class. So we'll be discussing on database, SQL and NoSQL. So a database is like a digital storage room where your application keeps data, where you keep your data. So we have SQL, relational database, and then we have NoSQL, which are the non-relational database. So SQL stands for Structured Query Language. An example are MySQL, Postgres, SQLite, sorry, and Microsoft SQL Server. So one of the key features of the SQL database, relational database, is that it stores data in tables like spreadsheets, Excel. So each table has rows and columns. Table can be related to each other using keys such as foreign key, and then uses SQL language to query data. So the use cases are when you have structured data and then you need strong data integrity, like bank apps, e-commerce. You need complex queries and relationship between data. So for the non-SQL, then no SQL for the non-relational database. Example are MongoDB, Redis, Cassandra, and then Neo4j. So one of the key features is that it has a flexible structure, no need for fixed tables, great for storing JSON like or dynamic data, and it is faster for specific use cases like real-time app because you're not sending queries like the one for the SQL the relational database. So and it scales easily with big data because it's compatible with much more large data. So the use cases are when you are working with unstructured or semi-structured data, you need speed and scalability. You don't need strict relationship or complex join like linking of different tables. So in this our tutorial we agree on working with MongoDB, which is under non-relational database, there is no SQL. So this tutorial would, and the last tutorial we just use some dummy data, but for this tutorial we're using MongoDB for our data. So let me just sign in. I already have an account with them already. So and also I have already like switch our code. I've converted it from using dummy data to my SQL. So as you can see, what I added was that I created a model for this. So model is just like a blueprint. So this is the model here. Though I created it in JS, that is JavaScript, not TypeScript. So by the time we start touching a little bit of TypeScript, we would then switch to TX, which is the extension for TypeScript, and then we'll be adding our types. So the model consists of the task schema, like just a blueprint. So we created it using Mongoose schema. We have to like import the Mongoose library. I've already installed that. And then you need to add a title. So remember, like for our creating of tags, we have the ID, the title, and then the status. But we don't need to be managing the ID now since we have MongoDB. We are using a database, and you know, database usually manage this ID stuff in the database. So you don't need to like add that, something that will be generated automatically. So we have the title, we are accepting the type string, and is required. And then this string is to just remove some extra spacing. And then for the done is just like a status. We have a type which is a boolean, not a string. So it can either be true or false. And then default is false. So by default, like if you are submitting, if you are creating a task, by default is false. So this is just like we are exporting it. So Mongo module.export mongo's.model task schema. So let's quickly move to the main file. So in this main file too, we are importing the library Mongoose Express, and then we are importing our tags from our model, which would be used in querying the database. So now we have set up our MongoDB URI, which is such like a link to our database. So let me quickly explain this. So this is my username, Monaspala. So and then this is the DB name. I created the DB tax DB, and then I think that is also, this is just what need to change this, and your username. Yeah. So let's quickly try to log in because I just wanted to show you how to create database in MongoDB. Um, for this the MongoDB dashboard. So you need to create a cluster where you can create your database under the cluster. So for the free tier, you have only one cluster you can create. So I already created mine already. So under the cluster now, you would see browse collections. So collection are just like the database here. So it's retrieving all the lists. So this is the tags DB I created. So under the tags DB, I have tags. So so this is it now. Yeah. So if you are creating another database, there is another collection. You just click on create database, add the name, collection name, and then additional preference. So back to our code here. So you can now see the reason why I was using tax db here, and then this is my username. So this is just like the connection string for the MongoDB. So so this is like loading of the environmental variables from .env, which we are going to use here while connecting to Mongoose, because that is just like our secret key. Yeah. So this is just the code for connecting of the MongoDB before we can start any query. So then it's just simple like that. Get, and then tags that's find basically. So it's just to just find the tags, all the tags, and then return all the tags, since we are not specifying any particular tags that we want by ID. So let me just quickly run this program. Server.js. So we are server running on port 3000. So let me just test local host 3000 slash API slash tags, and then click on send. So as you can see, we have our data here. So let's assume I want to post to. So as you can see, this is the code for post. So you just like creating of a new tags, and then getting the title from the request body, because we are just passing only the title, and then the status will be coming false by default. So what we are going to do is that this new tags, we are going to save it to the database. So we have some default connection methods, and then sending of data to the mongoose that you don't need to stress or write extra code. So what we're definitely doing here is just that we are saving the tags. So new tags.save, we definitely pushed our new tags to the db. So tags.find, we are just getting tags from the database. So as you can see now, after creating a new tags, then we have to like create a constant for the save tag, so that we can return the response of the save tags, the particular tags that has been saved. So currently I'll be doing that under my body road. I'll be passing title, and then here I can see um, maintain maintenance of the backend. So I can then okay, post send my request. So you can see maintenance of the backend done first, and then with my ID. So if you try getting all the records now, so as you can see, we are using the data from the database, not like dummy data. So as you can see, this is working too. So anytime with the update is just for like marking it as done. So what we are going to do is we are going to find by ID. So this is another default method you can use. So and then here we are accepting params. So let me just say I want to delete this. I have to get the ID, add it here. So and then go to put. So and then what I'll do now, you check this is the line of code const tag. So now we are going to find for that particular tax. So if you are finding for all the tags, you use find, but if you are finding like a specific tax, you use find by ID, and then the request is parameters ID. And then if there is no tax, it will return a 404 tax not found. If there is tax, what it will do is that it will change the status. So for this now, this what this code is doing is that assuming here is true, it will change it to false. If true, change to false, and vice versa. So that is how it should be. If it's true, it will change to false, and if it's false, it should change to true. That is vice versa. So so that means if you click on if you update, it will change the status to done. If you click on it will change the status done to true, and if you click on it again to update, to change it back to false. So then you can even edit the title too. So why I added this was that because if you had any mistake in the title and you want to like modify it, then you can add the title to the payload you are sending for the update. So it will check if the request has a body title, then it will use it. But if it does not have, which is the or, so it will just use the tax.title. So then the updated tags then would save it, just like we did for adding of the tags. So and then JSON updated tags. Oh yeah, so we are just displaying the updated tags here. So let me just try, let's try and see. So I would like try testing with the wrong ID. Um, let me see. don't know why I'm getting error. So yeah, so as you can see now, I'm getting it for when I try, like, okay, when I try getting it, because it does not exist. So let's try updating this to correct ID. But now use properties of undefined. Okay, okay. So let's see. Try to generate. Understand. So definitely what's causing the error is that okay, what's causing the error is this line, because if you're not passing the title, it's showing undefined. So I've commented it out. So let's try to do it again. Okay, so here now let me try sending the data even without the idea. So as you can see, it's working now. So even you're sending it without the title, it will work. So think edit. So now let's move to delete. So the delete tool has its own. You pass the ID and then switch here to delete send. So 204, then let's confirm if it has been deleted. So we'll be getting two records instead of one. So as you can see, we have two records now. So this is the code for the delete. You have to get the ID by using request.params ID and then find by ID and delete. Then if no task, it should return 404, task not found. If successful, it should return 204. So this is the end of the tutorial. So I hope you've been able to learn one or two things connecting the backend app with MongoDB, which is a NoSQL. Thank you.